Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris Altamirano here from viamaverick.com, and I'm just kind of chilling right now, having some beer. This is really good Firestone Walker 805 from Firestone. I'm in Morro Bay right now, just kind of hanging out. So this is local beer, but I don't know. I just staring at the ocean right behind us, or right behind you, actually, if you were here, but you're not. So I don't know. I just want to make this video because like today, my girlfriend and my girlfriend's dad, we went out looking at like some real estate around here on the Central Coast. We're about 15 minutes from San Luis Obispo here in Morro Bay. I'm looking at that huge freaking rock. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. Type in Morro Rock, and it's just this big old like volcanic rock thing. But we were looking at real estate today here in Morro Bay, and then up a couple miles in Cayucas and kind of the surrounding area on the Central Coast. And we're just looking at some $1 million homes, man. And they were really, really sick. But one thing I felt, right, and here's what's crazy, right? If you've never been in a $1 million home, or if you aspire to have a $1 million home, it's not like some huge difference, you know? And the house, one of the houses that we went into had so much detail put into it, man. Like we walk in and the real estate agent or the realtor, she was like, and these are Brazilian wood floors. And I was just like, feels like a floor to me. Maybe I didn't just appreciate the little fine details that were put into the house, but it's not a huge difference, guys. Like, there's no like huge difference between like where you are right now in your life and where you can be. And honestly, the difference that I've seen from people who walk on linoleum floors versus this guy who owns this like $1.2 million home he's selling it for about $1.2 million. The difference between you walking on linoleum floors and this guy walking on Brazilian cherry wood floors is just a shift in your mindset. That's it, dude. Like, that is fucking it. And it's crazy because poor people have poor attitudes. Rich people have rich attitudes. And here's how I know. Here's how I know how. Because because I have family that lives in the ghetto and stuff, and whenever I'm over at my family's house, I hate being at the house. Not necessarily because the house is like a piece of shit, but I hate being at the house because there's people there with poor attitudes. And now don't get me wrong, there are people who live in poverty who have very humble and just beautiful attitudes, right? But you can tell, like, there are some key distinctions, right? And the one that I point out the most and that I've kind of just like seen is the attitude. Poor people usually have poor attitudes. Rich people usually have rich attitudes. Poor people don't smile as often as they should. Rich people happen to smile all the time. We walk into this guy's house, and I'm going to tell you this crazy story. We walk into this guy's house, you know, to kind of see with the properties, kind of has the open house. And so the realtor's there with the actual owner. So the guy's name is Barry, right? Now, Barry, get this. Barry, I walk up to him. Hey, how's it going? Shakes the shit out of my hand. I'm a young guy. He probably knows I'm not buying the house, dude. You know? And it's funny because I looked outside. We got on top of the deck. You know, the deck overlooks the whole Pacific Ocean. Beautiful view. And Barry happens to... I asked what the realtor, hey, so what's this guy do? You know, got $1 million home. I'd like to know what this guy does. Barry, believe it or not, is a mortgage broker, right? So he owns this mortgage broking firm, company, thingy, whatever you want to call it, and he has all these little realtors who go out and sell homes, and then he gets a big cut of all their sales, and then they get like a 10% commission, right? That's how it works. Well, get this. Barry is also a developer. So Barry will invest in coastal property, right, land. He will build homes, and then he will not only build those homes, right, he will then sell them, which keeps all the finances with him. And guess who his realtors are? His daughters. How crazy is that? So he's helping out his whole family. It's like this like self-perpetuating cycle of just financial, you know, greatness, dude. And he's just talking about how he's like, oh, I've taken a bunch of trips towards Fiji. But like, you know, there's like such a big misconception with wealthy people that they're all snobby and stuck up, dude. And like, they're not. Yes, there are snobby, stuck-up people, but you don't have to be rich to be stuck up and snobby, and it's not even like that. Like, there's good people who are poor, and there's also good people who are rich. There are also snobby people who are rich, and there are also snobby-ass people who are flat broke. And in terms of finances and in terms of that guy, like I said, the only difference between Barry walking on Brazilian cherry wood floors and poor people walking on linoleum floors is their attitude. That guy Barry had a phenomenal attitude. And if there's one thing I learned today, and if there's one thing I want you to learn today watching this video, is to not only smile more, but to also just have a better attitude towards life. Like, you never know what or who you are going to encounter and what type of personal connections you can make, right? And just to kind of tie this back into like sales and like selling stuff online. If your product's good, it's gonna sell, right? If the product's good, it's just gonna sell, right? Like, you don't have to be a top salesman in the world to sell a MacBook, right? But if you want to sell more MacBooks, I'm just saying if you work at like an Apple store, if you want to sell more MacBooks, you probably need to be really good with people, because at the end of the day, people connect with people, right? You and I connect with each other, and not like an eharmony.com kind of like connecting, but like, we connect. And the products are just going to sell themselves. So be very personable, have a great attitude towards everyone that you meet, and just learn to smile more, because it's definitely very infectious. And again, as I said, poor people have poor attitudes, rich people have rich attitudes. That's my video for today. Chris Altamirano here, chiming in, gonna drink some more of this lovely beer. And yeah, while you're at it, check out this little bubble right here and do what it tells you to do, because it's going to tell you to click the link below. I'm not telling you. I'm telling you to do what this bubble says. And you do what this bubble says, it's going to tell you to click that link below. And it's not a sales page, but it is a link to a very awesome email newsletter. And you're going to get really awesome updates on how to get more traffic to your website, how to get, more leads, more sales. It's really cool. You should do what that bubble says right now. All right? See you guys later.